Golf is a game played by millions around the world and has been played since the 1400s. The game generates millions of dollars every single year, but some argue if golf is truly a sport or not. Today I will show 3 reasons why I believe that golf is definitely a sport. Reason number 1 is that it is because golf fits the definition of a sport. The second reason would be that many committees see it around the world see golf as a sport. And thirdly, golf requires training and exercise and practice. Firstly, what is the definition of a sport? The Oxford Dictionary defines a sport as an activity involving physical exertion and skill in which an individual or team competes against another or against others for entertainment. How does golf fit this? Well, first off, you can definitely argue that golf is competing against other people, as in every tournament they're playing against other people. You're also playing against the golf course when you're playing the game, as every golf course provides its own unique challenges. But how does the game fit the physical exertion? Well, according to Golf Advisor, the average golfer walks 6 to 7 miles and burns 1,000 calories per round played. Walking, of course. Now this equals nearly 30 miles walked and 4,000 calories burnt over the average 4-day tournament. So this is definitely a lot of physical exertion and exercise. Nextly, Dr. Michelle Clear says golf is a top 5 mentally challenging sport, which means that not only does she classify the game as a sport, but she thinks it is one of the toughest mental games, because the game is, you're not just playing against yourself and others, you're not just playing against others, you're playing against yourself and against the golf course. And thirdly, according to an article in the San Francisco Chronicle, written by Ron Krosh, Steph Curry, the famous basketball player, one of the best in the game when healthy, was talking about him playing on the web.com tour, which is like the minor leagues for golf. And he said, quote unquote, "Over here, I know that I am well over my head in terms of talent and preparation." Meaning that even on the minor league tour, a guy who's a very good player and a superstar athlete cannot compete on minor league tour players, not even against the top best of the best. While these players are still fantastically impressive and incredible players in their own element, they're not even the best of the best. And Steph Curry, a superstar athlete, can't compete with them. That just explains how difficult of a game golf truly is. Secondly, golf is recognized by several committees and other outside agencies as a sport. It is recognized by the NCAA, the NAIA, which are the 2 college athletics organizations, both recognize them as a sport. The Olympics, since 2016, now recognizes golf as a sport, and golf is now played in the Olympics every single year, with the first occurrence being in 2016 when Justin Rose won the medal, and would have been played this year, except due to coronavirus, the Olympics have been moved back another year. Also, major sporting brand stores like Dick's Sporting Goods and Academy all carry golf stuff, and Dick's Sporting Goods even owns a side chain called Golf Galaxy, further proving that at the sporting goods store, it is clearly a sport. Also, major sporting brands, everyone knows Nike, Under Armour, Puma, Adidas, are all sports clothing athletic brands. Jordan, all of these have athletes in the game. Nike has Tiger Woods, had Rory McIlroy playing before they stopped making golf clubs, playing their stuff and wearing their gear. Adidas has great players such as Dustin Johnson and John Rahm wearing their gear. Under Armour has major champion Jordan Spieth. Puma even owns their own golf brand, Cobra, and has 2 top players in Ricky Fowler and Bryson DeChambeau wearing their gear. So how could you argue that golf is not a sport if all these sporting good brands and all these sporting good stores carry golf stuff? Nextly, we move on to the fitness part of the game. Tour golfers such as Tiger Woods, Dustin Johnson, Rory McIlroy, and Brooks Koepka have a few things in common. One of which is that they're all at the top of their peak performance, meaning these athletes are in great physical shape, can bench, can lift, can do all these exercises and stay in great shape to improve their game. The game is not at the same place it was 20 or 30 years ago. These athletes are now in prime shape so they can compete at the highest level. And all those golfers, Tiger Woods, Dustin Johnson, Rory McIlroy, Brooks Koepka, were all world number 1 golfers in the world according to the OWGR, or the official world golf rankings, meaning that these were at the very top of their game. Guys like Brooks Koepka has said that he lifts before every single tournament he plays in. He'll go and get a lift in. And another part of fitness in injuries is injuries. Another part of fitness. Golfers do experience quite a bit of injuries. According to Pro-con, 88% of pros and 62% of amateur golfers get injured every single year, whether that's a minor wrist, hand, back, shoulders, neck injury. They get injured every single year. And according to Pro-con, the same website, 33% of professional golfers, PGA Tour players, experience a back injury that hinders them for at least 2 weeks while playing on tour every single year. That is a third of players. So this is clearly a physically demanding sport that is on their back, on their shoulders, neck, arms, wrists, all that kind of stuff. So the game is definitely physically demanding, that on top of the walking and all that stuff that you had to do. Now, there are a few reasons why people argue that golf is not a sport. One of which is the fact that, it's not the most physical demanding. There's no physical contact. Well, there are other sports that don't have physical contact. Swimming is a sport with no physical contact. Gymnastics. Baseball doesn't have a whole lot of physical contact. It's a sport. So that's obviously not a great reason. Another reason is, well, why can you drink and smoke while playing golf? That doesn't mean it's a sport. Well, yes, you can do that, but people don't really do that on a professional level anymore. Yes, the average amateur, the average Joe who's shooting 30 shots worse than a professional does do that, but not the professionals, not the real ones. You don't consider, recreational golf is still a sport, but it's not the same. People drink during recreational men's softball leagues. So it's the same thing. In conclusion, golf is a game that has been played for many, many years, makes so much money for sporting brands, TV deals, and themselves and for the players. How could one not recognize it as a sport when the game requires so much physical activity? It makes so much money. It's recognized by several people as a sport, and it does a toll on the body with a lot of players suffering injuries every single year. Thank you.